Hey gang, so it's time for the June Eco Update, behind the scenes at SuperFeast, what we're doing to make sure that we have an Earth tomorrow for future generations. So, 10 items on the agenda today that I'm going to be shooting through. First one, why don't you guys have samples? You know, can I get a sample of this product? It opens up a huge can of mycelium worms when we talk about samples. Now, the first one when it comes to our tonic herbs is that, I get it, we're in like 100 grams and 250 grams. Many uses come in one packet. That's where we're at. Now, on one practical herbal side, you need to consistently be having, at least like the smaller size 50 grams most of the time for you to get like an actual impact around these tonic herbs. It's not just about just like having it once. It's not like we're mixing them with coffee and stimulants and things to give someone a buzz. We're actually just pure herbs and mushrooms, and so we want people to have a little bit more before they have like sampled it. But when you go down the ecological side of things, what we've looked at doing super tiny Miron little jars and doing little 10-gram samples in those, because it really makes economic sense, guys. Like, you don't have no idea how useful it would be to, for us sending them to stores and to people to sample and get an idea, because in people's minds, sometimes people don't know like what's inside. Oh, it's a powder. Oh, okay. Just the impact to be able to like take a little thing like this and open it and go, right, it's an extract powder, and oh yeah, I've just mixed it into hot drink. Now I'm willing to go and buy something bigger. But first of all, the little Mirons, my gosh, it's just not viable. They're so expensive, these little jars, and that's why we say never throw them out, right? Never throw out these jars. The mushroom fairy dies every time you throw out a Miron jar. We need to like reuse them and upcycle them. You can put your spices and things in there, or just fill it up with a bigger bag. But so not viable for us to use Mirons for samples, and so the only other option would be little plastic sachets. And you'll see most companies, whether it's herbal companies, like other health products, it really just makes sense to go for the convenience market. And despite the fact that many people are, conscious companies, they are revolving around or moving towards single-use plastic, and we just won't do that. And so, although it makes crazy economically viable, people say, it'd be a bad move for you anyway, because branding-wise, people won't want to use you because it's plastic. You'd be surprised how much the market isn't up on it yet, guys. Like, it wouldn't impact us that much. We're just out of principle not moving towards these things. It would be a better commercial, but not good for the soul. We wouldn't sleep at night, and maybe not good for the long-term, like personality of the brand, which is like, I need to sleep at night and I need to love the company that I'm in, and so does everyone else. So that's why we make choices like this. So all these little sachets, whether it's like adaptogen little sachets or whatever, these little boosters, that's all single-use plastic. So if you're just mindful of that, if you're trying to get rid of single-use plastic from your life, you might want to get rid of little things like that. That's point one. If you've got any other questions around that, shoot them. We love all the questions. Give us your questions. Number two, pallets. So we're sending a few more pallets these days. So that's like lots of boxes on a pallet, and we ship them out because lots of people are guzzling their medicinal mushrooms. Now, if you received a pallet, the standard practice, doesn't matter what company it is generally, standard practice is like heaps of like Glad wrap. Basically like an industrial Glad wrap. Around and around and around and around and around and around. It's crazy. Crazy how much is used. It's probably one of the highest uses of plastic in in the freight industry, especially when it comes to health foods. And you got to look at this conscious Byron Bay brands and just conscious health brands. Behind the scenes, it's crazy how much plastic there is. So we've as we've started like getting demand for these pallets, we're not going to be doing that plastic. So you can see here in this picture, we've just taken like at the moment all we had were these little plastic strappings, and we've placed them around the pallet. Now we only had a certain amount, so there's not many on there. The freight, you can see, and myself was like, oh shit, is it gonna hold? And it did. And the courier guy was like, that'll be fine. That's all you need, just those two little straps. Now those are plastic straps, but it's way less than that Glad wrap. And what we are looking at now, and where we're all like really pushing for, is we're going to get these Velcro reusable straps. We're going to get quite a few of them and really strap down our pallets, and then we're going to send them on that way. And then we're going to request the person receiving to just throw them into a little paper bag, write on it, and send that back to us, and so we can keep on using them. Or, you know, it might just be like a, you know, pass it on, guys. You know, if you're sending out pallets or whatever, you can use them on yours and keep on sharing the ideas. So that's where we're at with pallets. If any of you are using pallets in your business or know other companies that you have an impact with, worth mentioning that, because quite often people are like, well, that's just current, that's a standard practice using Glad wrap, that's what you have to do. It's not what you have to do. Ask us the questions. Stickers. Right, so one of the big things that happens in the warehouse as well, one of the biggest areas where single-use plastic comes up, was we print stickers. You get an order comes through, we need to get your name and your address and your number and all that kind of stuff on your paper package that doesn't have any plastic within it or on it. However, it is a single-use plastic backing on that sticker, and so we've got this like really hot lead for a compostable backing on this exact size of sticker, which we're really, really stoked about. That's going to hopefully be coming in the next update, because that's going to be a bunch of single-use plastic gone. Now, I'm not actually just going to like throw that. We'll hang on to that and do the appropriate thing. We're also working on to the backing of the labels that go on the products. And see, this is like long rolls that they're coming on. And so we're working on getting like an industry standard compostable backing, and you know, hopefully get our printer on board to use those and print our labels onto those. So we're very excited about that, guys. We're working behind the scenes, the kind of plastic that you'd never know about. We're working on minimizing it and eliminating it, which we're stoked about. Okay, responsible packaging continues, getting out of Kraft bags and getting onto something else. I've shared previously, for those of you that don't know, we've tried a lot of compostable and biodegradable bags. At the moment, because we don't use fillers and you know, that kind of crap, we don't use. It's just pure herbal extract. Is basically what I'm saying. There's no plastic lining in there, therefore the herbs go hard. Now that's no good. You know, here's another one we're trying. You know, so we've had these going for quite some time. They're not working. We've talked. If you go down into the comments or into the caption, we're going to list all the companies that we're working with, because they've been rad and they've just been really honest that the industry is just not there in product development yet. But there are some really exciting products in development using cassava and cane sugar as well, and they're creating a somewhat of a, you know, it's a somewhat of a type of plastic, but that is biodegradable and is compostable, and that will possibly be able to be used in a particular type of packaging that we can move into our bulk sizes. We're also ongoing and looking at the Milo kind of style tin, which is recyclable, and then hopefully we can just really there empower everyone to like plant little, you know, little trees or plants around, and herbs around, you know, upcycle those. We're just like going through the motions of seeing how viable it is, you know, getting the machinery. We're just a humble little company, so we can't just like drop, you know, like just like go and buy like super expensive, huge machinery, but we are definitely working on it. Like we've got some momentum there, guys. So hopefully some great updates coming soon. We've had a chat with a company called TerraCycle about trying to get rid of our, or recycle some of our industrial plastics. That went well. They're a great company. I recommend, if you're a big company, talking to TerraCycle, because they support and help create these little micro industries that, you know, where something wasn't recyclable, there now is an industry that's financially viable in recycling. Like they created one for like a big toothpaste company. They do it, you know, for, you know, like I think it was like big companies have like shampoo, like the tops of the shampoo bottles that weren't recyclable. Now they've kind of developed something where that, you know, that is able to be recycled. We're too small for them. We don't produce enough plastics. They were like, sorry guys, not financially viable. But Farley was just talking to this to Greg, I believe his name was, and we've been talking to him a lot about him. He was the one that came in a while ago. I think we shared on the stories, and he did an evaluation of how, you know, how we're going on a sustainability and eco kind of like level. And we got 2 thumbs up, but you know, he told us this, someone just up north, I think is just needing to fill out paperwork, but it's looking super promising that they are recycling industrial plastic, and so that's going to basically eliminate like the plastic that our herbs powders come in. that's going to basically eliminate that in terms of it being non-recyclable. Okay, next, I'm sure everybody watching this is aware of Who Gives a Crap toilet paper, but it's just worth a shout out for those of you that aren't. No real excuses anymore to be buying toilet paper wrapped in plastic. These guys have a really great subscription model, great harvesting, kind of like a harvesting ethos, I guess you'd say, where it's like it's sustainable in the sourcing of their trees, and it's not coming in plastic. So make that switch over to Who Gives a Crap. They deliver. It's super easy. Another just little one we have around the office is the search engine that we use. We're using Ecosia, and basically, first of all, it gets you off Google, which is kind of like nice to have like a part of your life that isn't like like wrapped in Google. And what they do, for every 45 searches you make, they're planting one tree. So it's kind of nice. You might as well. It's reasonably good. Sometimes you might need to go back to Google for like, super quality high-end searching, but 95% of the time you're getting the same outcome. Ecosia, Ecosia, or see the notes below. We're looking at our new warehouse as well. That's been built for us. We're looking forward to getting completely on solar. We're just going to be, we're going to be, of course, upgrading that space and hopefully moving into a space that's going to be not just ecologically sustainable for the planet and keep on upgrading on those levels and making, but also for ourselves. We're trying to make sure that it's like a super healthy, like next level healthy workplace for all of us, because what's really bad for the planet? Plastics are really bad, but degenerating humans are really bad, especially when our whole system revolves around taxing resources to keep very sick, degenerating people, like up and alive. It takes a lot of resources, and a lot of human resources, and a lot of natural resources. So that's why we take what we do at SuperFeast and our herbalism and, in keeping our team really healthy and keeping myself healthy, my family healthy, my community healthy, is because I love them, love you, love myself, love us all. But at the same time, I love the planet, and it's just not viable for everyone to be this sick. That's why SuperFeast exists, really. To slow that degeneration, bring more of a beautiful expression of health as we age, and make that more of a cultural norm. We're just throwing our hat in the ring and having that conversation. And just finally, just wanted to just throw it out there again. It gets a bit frustrating for us because we're like looking at a microscope, all our little steps that we're taking along the way. But we remind ourselves that every little step counts. And, just looking back to where we were 6 months ago or, a year ago, we've always trying to make these upgrades, but we've made some huge impacts in the level of plastic that we're using. We've already had, we've had dozens of people, come to us, asking advice for their own companies. That's why we're sharing the resources below. We believe that if we are making an impact through, through the way we're sourcing our packaging. That's why we're big fans. If anyone wants to know, when I was moving into Miron, I moved out of little Kraft bags and I moved into Miron glass jars, and people were like, "Oh, Mason, where can I get the Miron?" It wasn't easy to find back in those days. It's like one thing that I could be doing is going, no, that's my look, that's my brand, and and I need that packaging, that unique packaging, in order to validate my brand in itself. But of course, no, there's people trying to move into glass that they believe in, that they think is going to be really sustainable and get ensconced into a lifestyle rather than just going into the recycling program. And so of course we share that, and it's been really nice to have that opportunity and have heaps of people, other businesses share advice with us as well. Mostly it's not completely the case. There's some people just hiding behind the Byron sustainability brand and cashing in on that, but mostly it's a beautiful community that's really open and open sourcing. It's been really amazing. It's been really it's nice. It's nice to be a part of that. So every bit counts, guys, and even in your own lives. Sometimes I will be honest, I get a little bit cynical about that in my own life in terms of, is this really making an impact? And it really does, and find ways to, increase the quality of the way you're framing or perceiving the reason why you are, minimizing plastic, or, going more sustainable in the way that you're sourcing your food. It doesn't have to be about saving the world on a macro level. It can just be around, creating a culture of health in your own life and a lifestyle that you're really proud of and you're proud to share with your community and your kids, or, and your partner. And you can, sometimes just reframing and, getting greater quality of the way, the reasoning behind these steps, so it doesn't feel like you've got the weight of the world on your shoulders. we're definitely feeling, feeling that at SuperFeast. We're really imbued. Sometimes we're like, gosh, there's a lot of losses and dead ends, but there's a lot of wins, and we know that we keep our foot on the gas. It's going to be more and more wins, and we're going to, hopefully, along with all the other companies that are doing it, be a real, shining light and an example to the world. And the world is crying out for it right now. So all the resources below. If we've missed one that you want to know about, reach out to us. Especially you can reach out to our eco manager Farley. You can ask to talk to her if there's anything you want to understand that's going on in the biz. And otherwise, just go forth and help the planet and yourselves prosper, everybody. That's the June Eco Update.